Hello, welcome to East Montgomery County News on Lone Star Community Radio. We record live every Monday at noon from downtown Conroe. I'm your host, Margie Taylor. We hope to inform local residents of Porter, New Caney, and Splendora of local happenings with the Chamber, the New Caney and Splendora school districts, law enforcement, nonprofits that serve East Montgomery County, and local businesses. Listen in every Monday at noon to learn more about Lone Star Community Radio. Today, our guests are Candy and Ray Robinson of Celestial Displays. They are a family-run pyrotechnics operation doing fireworks indoor and outdoor, small events, large events since 1982. They will make all of your events very memorable with flair, uniqueness, and often a large bang. So before we go back to Candy and Ray, I wanted to tell you about a few updates. MCED was awarded $4 million by a 6-person jury for property taken in eminent domain by the Texas Department of Transportation for the construction of Grand Parkway. They were losing a third of their parking lot, a storage facility, a water well, the front driveway, and some trees. This judgment allows MCED the functionality of the facility for future use. Protect your pets from mosquito-borne heartworm disease. This rain has caused an enormous amount of flies and mosquitoes. So this is going to be a particularly bad summer with all the rain we've had for our dogs and cats. And when a mosquito bites your pet, the heartworm larvae will mature after a period of time inside the animal. It may be 6 months from now, but it will cause many heart blockages. Big Thicket Vet is one of our sponsors on East Montgomery County News, and they can help test your pet and then get them on the appropriate heartworm preventative. You can call them at 281-689-5585. Well, things are progressing on the new businesses coming in for the Valley Ranch Shopping Center by the Grand Parkway. Right now, Sam's Club is hiring 175 people for their new store that's opening there in New Caney. They're taking applications on site by the Tractor Supply Shopping Center located at 23741 Highway 59 from 7 a.m. in the morning until 8:30 at night, Monday through Friday, and also again 10 to 6 on Saturday. Academy will also be hiring beginning next Monday at the MCED building. So there's a lot of opportunities for any of our youth that are out of work, young adults, more mature adults, anybody. There's lots of opportunities right now, especially with all the other new businesses that will be coming into town, including Hobby Lobby and some eatery places. So we're very excited about that. So our county, as of Saturday, has been declared a federal disaster by the president from the destruction of the storms in May. Governor Abbott notified County Judge Doyle on Saturday, and this means the federal government will offer aid through the Montgomery County Office of Emergency Management. You may remember that Cynthia Jamison was on our show last week and spoke from their office about going to their website immediately to implement any disaster recovery assistance. And that website is www.mctxoem.org. That is your first place to start if you need any assistance with your home, your property, or your car, or your business that have flooded from the rains. So even though school is out right now, there's many kids that still need the breakfasts and lunches. Splendora ISD offers a summer feeding program that is free to anyone 1 year old to 18 years of age at the high school through July 14th, Monday through Thursday. Lunch only is served at 4 other satellite places, including New Life Assembly of God, Patton Village at Lakeview Park, Heritage Park in Splendora, and the Splendora Football Park on Tram Road. For additional information, call the Splendora ISD Child Nutrition Center at 281-689-4453. New Caney is also offering this summer feeding program, and that is at Oakley Elementary School. You can call for more details at 281-577-8690. And we're still excited about the new Speed Sports Racing Park that is scheduled for completion Labor Day weekend. That will be here before we know it. I mean, June is already flying by. So 3 months from now we can all be checking out our racing abilities, going 65 miles an hour at the new race park at 242 and Highway 59. So the volunteer recruitment class is still looking for people that are interested in becoming firefighters, and that's with the East Montgomery County Fire Department. The class will begin on August 1st and go through November 16th. They will meet every Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m., but you must be 18. This is a free volunteer recruitment class, and when the class is completed, people who pass the test, women or men, will be able to be certified under State Firefighter and Fire Marshal Association as a certified entry-level firefighter. Some important dates to remember that are coming up. 2 days from now, the Chamber will hold their breakfast connections at Kingwood Medical Center at 8 a.m. That's June 15th. June 16th, the East Montgomery County Fair Association will have a meeting at Bull Salas Park at 7:30. June 26th, we just talked about the heartworm medication for your animals, but they also need their annual vaccinations. So if you have a pet that is due to get rabies, Bordetella, DHPP, they can get it for $5 at Bull Salas Park at the end of the month, which is June 26th on Sunday. Children can also get free children's immunizations from 9:30 to 1:30 on June 28th. I will repeat this also in the coming weeks so that you can remember these dates. But the biggest date that you need to hold on to and save the date for is October 1st. That is the Texas Sawmill Festival, and they are going to be having axe throwing this year, the lumberjack competition, tractor races, and live entertainment. There's going to be a lot more information coming out about this shortly, but if you want additional information right now, you can go to the Greater East Montgomery County Chamber site, and they can direct you to the right place to go. The committee is looking for organizations to volunteer for various fun positions, including the beer booth. They need more people for the beer booth, believe it or not. There's going to be a kids zone, vendors, food, and the celebrity axe throwing contest. I can't wait to see that. So, anyhow, the last thing I wanted to update you on is that Dignity Memorial Educational Seminar will be tomorrow. That is a free dinner tomorrow, June 14th at 7:30, and it's put on by Kingwood Funeral Home. If you are interested in learning about how to plan, it's a free educational seminar about the benefits of making final arrangements in advance. This is not a selling thing. There's no sales transactions that's going to happen. It's a free seminar, educational, about how to plan in the event of your death or someone that you care about. And that dinner will be at 7:30 at Buca de Beppo. And if you're interested, reservations can be made by calling Tim Lenz at 832-657-3916. The Kingwood Funeral Home is also having a free event to honor those who serve on June 25th from 10 to 4 with live music and face painting. That is all the current updates for now. So we will be right back with East Montgomery County News with Ray and Candy Robinson of Celestial Displays.
EMC News, your local news from EMC every Monday at noon on Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, coming in June of 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk and music shows on YouTube, cable TV, and Our City TV, we are offering special sponsorships rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcast. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like the one you're listening to online at irlonestar.com/sponsor, or call the station at 936-647-5747, reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
this is Margie Taylor, and we're back again on East Montgomery County News on Lone Star Community Radio. You know, if you want to know more about East Montgomery County News, you want to be a guest, or you want to be a sponsor, it's real easy. All you have to do is either call me, Margie, at 936-828-6881, or go to irlonestar.com/EMCN. You will see our podcasts from the past Mondays. You will find out about sponsorship, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. So, here in the studio with me, I have Candy Robinson and Ray Robinson, and they are with Celestial Displays. Hi, guys.
Hi, Margie.
Hi there.
Hey. So much to talk about. This is a family-run business that started in 1982?
Well, actually, I started doing fireworks in 1982, but this business wasn't organized until about 2009. My dear wife decided I needed something to do to keep from just sitting around the house bugging her.
So you started blowing things up.
Well, I'd been doing that a long time, but she decided maybe I ought to get paid for it again. So we started the business.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Celestial Displays. And what I mean by that is, so do you just do the big fireworks? I mean, I know you don't, so this is kind of a trick question. But so everybody, when they think of fireworks, they think of the 4th of July, possibly,
Right.
or New Year's Eve. But there's a lot more to it than that.
Oh, for sure. Recently, in the bridal community, there has been a great interest in having fireworks for weddings. So we are actually a preferred vendor at several wedding venues all around town, all around Houston, not just specific.
You'd like to be in all of them.
We
correct?
would, yes, absolutely, without question.
Of course.
Boy, you guys like to make me work. Okay,
You
go
know,
ahead.
we get phone calls from clients, and they say, well, can you do more than one show a night? Yes, ma'am. We most certainly can. When do you want us there? You know.
So you have a staff.
Yes, we have. We have an extensive staff that we like to call our family. We seem to have a very good rapport with all of our employees, which they actually technically are part-time employees. They get regular paychecks. They get all the taxes taken out of it, and nobody's a contractor. They are even covered with workers' comp. So if anything would happen out on the shoot site, that they can go to a hospital and have it taken care of. Fortunately, we've never had any issues where we've had to have anything like that happen. But, you know, they're covered.
Well, and you brought up a point. What is unique about, well, there's so many things unique about Celestial Displays, but your number one concern is safety. Is that correct?
Absolutely, without question.
We have actually turned down jobs that we didn't think were safe. We have told our clients sometimes, if you don't do this, this, and this to adhere to state law, to codes, and to safety regulations, you can find yourself somebody else, because we're not going to hurt anybody. As Candy said, our crews, our employees, we treat them like family, and they treat us like family. And they expect us to protect them. And surprisingly enough, our other job is to protect our customers, our clients, so that they don't get in over their head without knowing it. So, and then there are oftentimes things that we do in order to satisfy state law and satisfy safety regulations and stuff, and to make sure that no one gets hurt. And we go above and beyond. I'll give a quick example. Last year, we did a show, 4th of July on Lake Conroe. There was a homeowner up there nearby that thought we had done some things that were inappropriate and all, and he complained to the state fire marshal himself. Well, if you get a hold of somebody like state fire marshal, that immediately instigates a investigation by the office. State fire marshal spent 3 weeks following it, investigating it, coming down. They spoke to Conroe fire marshal. They spoke to the Conroe fire department, went through everything that we had done, looked at everything, and they walked away and said, because of our safety adherence, there was no problem. And so
So that says a lot. That says a lot about, that you do the right thing. You protect your employees, your staff, and all the people involved in the event that you're participating in.
Right. And I mean, when we fill out, and I personally don't, Ray does the permitting, but when he fills out a permit, everything down there, everything is on a permit down to the last everything. I mean, he shows where our racks are going to be, where our guests are going to be.
All the logistics.
And so when they come back, if they came back on us and said we did not adhere to, then that they can't say that, because we make sure that we do that.
And you have the paper trail to back it up.
Absolutely.
So I also noticed that, Ray, you're a certified PGI instructor. What does that mean exactly?
PGI is the Pyrotechnic Guild International, and they have a course that trains display operators, which are what could be otherwise described as licensed shooters. They're licensed by the state of Texas to be a display operator, whether it's the small displays or the big displays, or whether it's indoor or outdoor, whatever. They're licensed to do this, and we have enough of them on staff. And
are other people have this certification?
Well, there are a number of instructors in the United States. I am the only one in Texas.
That says a lot. The only one in Texas.
I looked around and I found that we couldn't get anybody without flying somebody in from North Carolina or from Minnesota or from New York or otherwise to teach classes. And I said, okay, we're going to stop this nonsense. So I went out and got certified. And we hold 2 to 3 classes a year at our training facility to certify not only our shooters, but other shooters throughout the state of Texas. It's one extra training and safety course that the instructors have. And they have to repeat this once every 3 years to keep up their certification. Many of our licensed shooters are certified. The rest are going to be scheduled the next time as we get licensed people, we put them in the class. We have some people that have taken the course, and they've still got 2 or 3 years before they get licensed. But they do it because they want to know the training, they want to know the safety rules, and they want to know how to do it correctly.
To give you an idea, Margie, of how valuable Ray's information that he has in his head is as far as the PGI goes, when we go to the yearly conventions that are held all over in different places of the country every year, Ray usually is asked at the very last minute, of course, to teach the PGI instructor's course. So it's like,
you better be ready.
Right. I mean, he's pretty smart.
But in itself makes you guys unique into what you do. Because, again, that puts that safety at the forefront. Because when you think of fireworks, that's the first thing people think of is explosions of some sort, which it doesn't always have to be. Well, I know you have the cold fireworks too.
But every little tube that we fire explodes. So yes, the word explosion is about. Yes, it is.
Yeah. And for instance, we're working with one venue right now, which the other company would send one person out to set up the show and work the show. We never send one by themselves. We always send at least 2 people, even if it's a very small one, and we do that for safety. The venue, our client, if there was a problem, they don't need to be the safety officer for us and take care and send one of our employees for first aid or anything else. That's our job. So we always send at least 2 people out there so that both of them are safe. It's just like, climbing ladders. We don't let anybody climb a ladder by themselves.
Yeah, it costs us a little bit more money, but we're knowing that we have the presence of mind and the peace of mind to know that we've taken care of our crews.
And both of these individuals that go out are usually trained in all of the things and stuff like that, so they watch each other's back. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and that's what I tell our crews. I said, you may see me make a mistake. Challenge me, call me on it, but I'll do you one better. You better call me on it because I may be doing it on purpose because I want to see if you're paying attention.
Right.
So
Catch them.
we're always training.
So about that training, let's talk about that a minute. You also train other people. You train firefighters to do this, and what's your procedure? Because I know that now you farm out some different things that you do, and you've trained firefighters, I know, out in East Montgomery County. Have you done that in other places as well?
We have worked with the Tomball Fire Department as well. But I'm going to back up for a second.
Okay.
On East Montgomery County, you said something about wanting to take, if you're interested in being a trainee, a entry-level firefighter and all, if you really are interested, you cannot find a better group than the East Montgomery County. Not only are they a great group of people, but they're so safety conscious that, we enjoy working with them. Several years ago, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago now, the city of Roman Forest came to us and they said, "We want you to work yourself out of a job." I said, "Huh?" They said, "What we want you to do is train our fire department so that they can eventually take over and do our 4th of July show. So what you're going to do is you're going to end up working yourself out of a job." Now, most companies would have said, "No, we're not interested in that." And they said, "No, we'll be glad to do that because, that just means one more place that we know that the fireworks are going to be done safely." So we've worked with the East Montgomery County Fire Department. They've got themselves a couple of licensed shooters now that have gone through our PGI course. They have done a number of things. We work with them to make sure they're safe. In fact, our lead choreographer, I believe, is working with one of the head shooters in order to choreograph this year's show.
That's Zach. Yeah.
Okay,
That's Zach.
Yes.
That's Zach.
He's the director of the program in Roman Forest now. Yeah.
Oh, is that his title now?
I don't know. I just said that.
Okay.
Give
Hey,
him a few
Zach, you
kudos.
just got promoted. Get a pay raise.
Zach Rutledge.
Hi, Zach.
But this year they've got a firing system, and it will be choreographed to music. And our lead choreographer Benny is going to be working with them, and
That's nice.
I don't know what kind of arrangement Benny's made with him, but I hope it's lucrative. But it's
Anyway.
Well, that sounds great, and I know that Roman Forest is going to be a spectacular event. It always is. It's probably the best program in East Montgomery County, and I think it might be the only one out there on the 4th of July.
I think Kingwood has something, but I don't.
That's not East Montgomery County,
That's not
so it
even
doesn't count.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
it always gets a lot of people.
I mean, and we did, changing the subject a little bit, we actually worked with the East Montgomery County Improvement District to do the fireworks display twice. Well, once was for the school, the high school, when the high school was opening up.
The stadium.
The stadium,
Texan
yes.
Stadium, yes.
Right. And then we did the Fire and Ice fireworks
absolutely.
last
And we're
year.
going to talk a little bit more about that in our next segment. We'll talk about that and the different events that you do, because I know you're involved in a lot of community events and the large shows, the small shows, and people just need to think outside the box, because you do a lot more than just those special events that everybody sees. Like, you're going to be participating in the Conroe Chambers 4th of July fireworks over the lake. I know that. And you also participate in the New Year's Eve at La Torretta over the lake again.
Yes. That's a
But
very special show we'll talk about.
Right, and that's what I want to talk about. So, anyway, we're going to be coming back shortly after the traffic and weather, East Montgomery County News with Margie Taylor.
Stay tuned to the EMC News Hour with your host, Margie Taylor.
Animals of all shapes and sizes are welcomed at Big Thicket Vet in New Caney, with vet services like extensive health exams, vaccinations, heartworm, tick, flea prevention, along with experienced and trustworthy emergency and urgent care. For more information on Big Thicket Vet in New Caney, visit bigthicketvetnc.com or locally at 18403 FM 1485 in New Caney, Texas.
Stay tuned to the EMC News Hour with your host, Margie Taylor.
Hello, this is Margie Taylor, and we are back recording live at Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe with EMC News. And our podcasts from this show will be available on Wednesday. So all you need to do is go to our show page, irlonestar.com/EMCN, to see today's podcast. So back here in the studio with me is Candy and Ray Robinson, and we are talking about their company, Celestial Displays, and they have a pretty good group of staff that is actually their family, and they do employ family too, but they consider it their family. They have men, women, vets, disabled, I mean, all kinds of people work for you, and you train them. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we go from the young, you have to be 18 years old, all the way up to the ancient and decrepit like myself. And
that's old.
Yeah, that's ancient. You know, one of my kids one time asked me if they did carbon dating to figure out how old I was. But we also work with disabled veterans, some active military, some retired military. We actually have an active reservist who's going to be deployed in a couple of months to Afghanistan working with us. So we cover the gamut. We have men and women. One of our licensed display operators is a young lady who does most of our Friday night shows over at La Torretta, and did them last year and is doing the majority of them this year. She and her husband are absolutely spectacular dynamic duo. And she also works up our facility and prepping shows and everything else. I'm going to digress for a second. I want to talk about some of the pyrotechnics that we do. We don't just do outdoor fireworks, and those we do in different sizes from whatever is appropriate to the size venue that we're at. We do the very big ones that you can see all over Lake Conroe, all the way down to small ones for little weddings and things like that. We also do indoor fireworks that we can put into tabletops, on stages, behind stages. Centerpieces.
Candelabras, yeah.
Candelabras line the way for the entrance or the exit for a bride and groom to go. And
for
all
honorees,
of these,
all kinds of things.
Absolutely. We've done archways before for the bride and groom to walk under. It all depends on what the requirement is and how imaginative and what the bridegroom venue event, whatever they want to access. The other thing is, have you ever had your name up in fire? We do what we call lance work. And we can do names, we can do company logos. This
Stairway
is all
to
outdoor
Heaven.
If you find us a sponsor, our crew's ready to go. They've already got it designed and ready to go.
I saw an image on Facebook with the stairs going up the sky,
right,
with the music accompanying. And I know you guys can do that.
We could do it.
Yeah.
We could. We haven't yet.
Or for any other song, for that matter,
right,
with animation. Okay.
And most of our work is customized. Well,
to music.
And to music.
Yes.
We do a true choreography. There's a lot of companies that will play music and they'll shoot fireworks.
And that's not you. You do it to the display.
We make sure that the music and the fireworks dance to each other. They enhance each other. Mm-hmm. There was something said about the New Year's Eve show that we do every New Year's Eve for the Montgomery County Children Protective Agency.
And that's one of your philanthropic things. I know you guys do a lot of philanthropic things.
It is
in various places.
Yes, we sponsor a good bit of that show.
That's Children's Protective Services,
right. On New Year's Eve
in Montgomery County.
Right.
Yeah, and Terry Jaggers and her crew do a fantastic. You want a fun evening for New Year's Eve, and you want to do something that works worthwhile. Come out. They sell out every year, so you might want to start contacting them. About right now.
I think they're planning. I think I saw that on Facebook that they're planning for that right now.
Yeah. I think last year they had 500 people, and that ballroom was packed.
And each year we do a very, very special show for them. You won't see anything like it elsewhere in the state of Texas. It is not your usual 4th of July bang bang boom show. It's very delicate. We do a lot of dancing comets. We're able to do it over the the cove, so a lot of our fireworks actually go into the water. Last year we introduced some where we actually shot them on top of the water. They sat on top of the water for a few moments, and then all of a sudden they erupted from the top of the water.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when you see them, because if you're looking at night, you can see the actual firework come out of a tube, and it landed in the water. And I was a little far away from it, and I was really concerned that we had some duds, and they were just going in the lake. And 10 seconds later, the lake erupted in fire.
That's
was
neat.
It kind of gave me chills.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It was very, very special.
Well, and then also in this display, don't you have the colors that represent different things?
We try to represent all of the kids that are in Montgomery County CPS, all those that have graduated from that. All the sponsors, yes, we
so
try
there's
to
meaning
make it
behind
we
each
try to
one.
make
Right.
it some meaning.
It's a little
and
more
everything.
depth to it.
Yes,
It is.
Yes.
It's yeah.
And
Every shell is supposed to represent a certain number of the kids. So the fact that we have all these foster kids in Montgomery County is sad, but we want to do something to help raise the money to support them. So
Right.
that's what we do on the New Year's Eve
Well, you
show.
also have done some things out in East Montgomery County
Yes.
with Heaven's
Right.
Army at Christmas time,
Right.
where they will gather money for the month of December through the fire department, and then after the fire department collects monies in a so-called fill the boot kind of thing, and then Lenora Purvis will then take the money with her crew and go purchase gifts for kids and families that wouldn't normally have items. And it could be even shoes and clothing and toys, bikes, lots of things like that. And then they serve a meal and have games inside. And then there was a show, a spectacular fireworks show. I know that you've done that for several years.
I think
kind of thing.
4 years or so.
Right.
And I mean, we do it almost every year, so it's like we stop counting.
And there
Goodwill.
again, we donate the product.
Right.
It's East Montgomery County firefighters that put the show together.
Well, that's ideally that's how it works, but we usually wind up with part of our crews there too.
Yes,
So
you know,
Right.
somehow telling our crew that they can't work pyro just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I understand. But what I wanted people to know is that you do all these different things, that
Right.
there's a lot more to you than what meets the eye.
right, we actually go to the city of Italy. I didn't even
And
know
where exactly is
I didn't
Italy?
know there was a city of Italy in Texas,
Is it
but
near
it is.
Paris, at Texas?
We go
North?
north on 45, and then
It's just south of Fort Worth.
okay. I don't know those things.
It's west
Okay.
of Waxahachie.
But yeah, they called us a few years ago and said that no other fireworks company, since they're closer to Dallas and Fort Worth, would come to them. So we gave them, I think we charged them for the pyro, and that's about it. And it's a 3.5 hour drive up there. We set up the show. We, shoot the show, tear the show down. They're nice enough to give us barbecue and are very nice to us. They have a softball game where it's a fundraiser for their Shop with a Cop.
Shop with a Cop, yes.
And so we're there to support them. And these are children we have we wouldn't know them from the man in the moon, to see them, but we're helping them anonymously.
But we get paid two ways. We get free barbecue,
Right.
and we get a T-shirt.
Hey,
And among
then
our,
you got it made.
among our
Right.
employees, those T-shirts are coveted.
Right.
They're fought over who gets to go and everything else. Right? So
And we don't pay our crews for this is an act of love for all of us. We pay the crews something
They
to go
volunteer
with
their
us.
efforts
but,
to go
right,
out
yeah.
there and participate.
And they know they're helping kids.
Okay, well, that's a really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, some things that we haven't covered. You guys are insured. You handle all the permitting. If somebody were to meet with you, how does that happen? What are the kind of questions you ask them?
depending on exactly if I can look it up on Google Earth, most of the time we'll go out and visit the location. And we'd like to visit the location with the client.
First, we ask for their budget.
Well, that's true, too.
And that tells us a lot of things. It tells
Sure.
us what size we can. Once we find out what size, and then that can tell us the timing.
They may not know what their budget
Well, that's
is,
true.
too.
That's true. There are a lot of people who don't.
And most of the time, this is an iterative problem. We'll say, okay, if you want a 20-minute show, it's going to cost you this. After we pick them up off the floor, and get them breathing again.
You have to give them some boundaries so that they know.
We'll go back
Yeah.
and we'll start working along that line. But we'll go out there, and what we're going out there to do is look at the size, the distances from any buildings, from where cars will be, from people, and everything else.
All that safety stuff again.
Absolutely.
All that
It's always at the
bothersome
forefront.
safety stuff. It always gets in the way.
But that's important, and people don't realize that you're thinking of that. Your mind is cycling through all of that
Exactly.
when you meet up with them. Even if you're not asking them those questions, you're looking at where they're located, who is it going to get hit by, what are your parameters, and then I'm sure you vocalize it after you
for sure.
assess it. It's kind of like a cop. A cop goes into a building, and they're already checking the exits and things like that. So you're looking at that. But they don't have to have a source of power to have issue.
Oh, no. No.
Some of our competitors require power. We don't.
Okay.
We have a state-of-the-art, completely battery-powered firing system that we carry spare parts to, spare modules to, spare batteries for. We are, if there's a...
We're self-contained.
If there's an AO out there, we've got it covered. And we always make sure we have enough material out there to where it's not going to endanger. Now, in some cases, smaller shows like weddings and things like that, we will have a MP3 player that is fired off our firing system that we plug into a soundboard or whatever. On 2 shows this year at Angleton and also at Lake Conroe will be simulcast on radio. Now, that gets a little tricky sometimes, because the radio has to schedule it for how they can put their calls and
their breaks.
and their breaks
their
into
advertisements.
And for some reason they like to be paid, so they need advertisers and things like that. This year we will again,
Which you can still sponsor Lone Star Community Radio. Just throwing that out there.
Well,
There you go.
Well, this year we're going to be with K-Star again, which we've done for the last 3 or 4 years.
They're legit.
Those yeah, and those guys are fantastic to work with. We love working with them. But we coordinate. We've done simulcast. We've got that to where it looks very easy to everybody. While I'm thinking about it, let me say this: if you're going to be at 4th of July on Lake Conroe, do not pick up the music via internet or anything else. Pick it up on the FM wave. The reason is the internet is 3 to 6 seconds delay.
So it'll look like you haven't choreographed it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Everybody will go, why did that go off
But
then?
tell me about East Montgomery County at Roman Forest. So you say that's going to be choreographed as well?
It's going to be choreographed as well. Roman Forest will have probably their DJ, as they've had before.
Yeah, so they have their own speakers and everything.
And we will plug directly into that DJ
Okay, so
sound
that's how
system.
that will work, and that,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that will
Right, they're not
be
simulcast as-
amplified where
Right.
people can hear it that
Right.
are sitting there.
I don't think they're simulcast as far as we know.
Okay.
This year.
Just trying to find out the details for
Okay.
Yeah, well,
us
you know,
East
It can be-
Montgomery County folk.
I foresee Lone Star
Because
Radio
we're not going to be on
simulcast.
Lake Conroe. We're going to be in
I
Roman
understand.
Forest.
I understand.
I foresee Lone Star Radio maybe simulcasting one of these days.
And we
but,
Yep.
we provide Roman Forest with the product, so we only sell the absolute top of the line fireworks.
And it's
So
the best.
There aren't any.
It's the best.
Right. Thank
I've
you.
seen other people's.
Thank you.
And they're inferior to y'all's.
We agree.
Everything. I mean, I can't emphasize the safety thing enough. That is just so, you guys are just so on top of it, and having your own backup system should anything go wrong, and all of your people trained and insured. Why would anybody else choose anyone else?
That's our question.
I don't know either.
I don't either.
So where you have some upcoming shows. Tell me about your upcoming shows besides those two, Roman Forest and Lake
Well,
Conroe.
let's see. Every Friday at La Toretta. Please come out and see us. We would enjoy to have you out there. We do it right on the lake. Right, and I can tell you that their bars are great. Their restaurants are good. You can have good food, enjoy a fireworks show. Or better yet, come out and stay for the weekend.
And then we have the City of Cleveland on Saturday night, the 2nd of July.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know at the high school stadium, And then on the 4th of July, again, we're doing a show at the Woodlands Country Club Palmer Course. I do believe it's a 10-minute show, and that'll be really nice. So, 15, okay.
Okay.
It's
And
gonna
then
be a
you have
15.
something, River Plantation.
Oh, River Plantation, sorry. We've been doing theirs for a couple of years. My brain's
And when is
fried
that?
this time of
When
the year.
do they do that
That
one?
will be
That
on
one's
the 4th
on the 4th.
as
Oh,
well.
my
And
goodness, you have a lot of shows.
And
on
they
the
do
4th.
it off of a tee box on the
What is
golf
that?
course.
What
On
is
the
a
golf
tee box?
course. It's where
Oh, a tee. Where you
the
tee.
golfers
Hello,
tee
I'm not
off.
a golfer.
Right. I'm not a golfer either, but that's where we set up on
I'm
a golf
thinking
course.
the
so-
letter T.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, I have to get used to all
Rein me
these
in.
terms, But yeah, it's at their golf club, and they have a
So
they
you're
have
all
a
over the
neighborhood
place.
event. They have a big neighborhood event, and it ends with the fireworks. And
So you are at in this county. You're at Lake Conroe. You're at the Woodlands Country Club. You're at River Plantation Country Club. You're at La Toretta. You're in Roman Forest. So
Cleveland's in Liberty County, isn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, they're real
But it's
close.
close.
They're right
They're real
next
close.
to Splendora.
It's
So
close.
they get to count. I guess they kind of get.
They're
half
kind of a
point for
suburb.
that. So what I'm saying is, your staff is trained and can take different locations,
Right.
and you don't have to manage them because they
Oh,
know what they're doing
correct.
and they're professional.
correct. We load everything up at our facility, so they have everything that they need to go when they drive out the gates.
Our employees basically call us mom and dad, and they'll pull up chairs and say, "You sit there."
Yeah,
Of course,
So-
we're here to work. You're here to look.
uh,
No, I
Where
can't.
do you keep all of this stuff?
We
Don't tell me your house.
did at one time.
That's
But-
a little scary.
A little scary.
Jimmy
no,
Williams
we,
isn't
we
listening. is
kept
he?
all of our racks and everything else in the garage, but
No.
we have a facility.
We have a 20-acre facility up in right across the San Jacinto County line, and we have several magazines, which is what the term is in the industry for the storage units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 5. Yes, we have 5. And we store everything up there. It's locked up, safe and sound. It's away from anybody, so heaven forbid anything should happen. It'll burn the woods down, but probably no one will get hurt. And of course, with our storage facilities, we also have to adhere to safety regulations. They have to be so far from this, and so far from that, and so far from the other things. And we had an ATF audit in October, and everything was fine. So we religiously adhere to all of the safety regulations put to us by the state and the federal government and everybody.
In addition to our magazines, we also have a training facility room.
Right.
We also have a shop where we do a lot of our woodworking, because a lot of our materials and stuff like that require we custom make our own mortars and racks, because we want them to adhere to our safety standards, not anybody else's. We have had racks that we have deliberately tried to explode, and the idea behind a rack is to hold the mortars and hold them supposedly vertically. We have had situations where we've deliberately tried to knock the racks over. They have not gone over. All the other mortars have stayed straight up and down, which is a major safety feat. We also do a lot of our preparation for our shows there. Most people think, okay, you're going to drive out there and you'll start setting up, and an hour later you'll be finished with setup and everything else. Well, we probably have done somewhere between 8 to 12 man-hours worth of work, maybe even more, depending on the size show, previously, before we even moved out to site, getting everything prepped. So
that's for the smaller shows. For the
small
big
show.
4th of July shows.
So it takes a long time.
It does take a long time, and when, for heaven forbid, it should be raining during the day, we can't set anything up in the rain.
Right.
So, sadly, if we contract with a community and for a large show, and it rains until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, there's no way we can get 1,000 shells out there in 3 hours.
I've seen that happen before.
Right.
Where we've watched it to see if it was going to rain.
It's just, yeah, and so I hope people understand that if somebody says you have to cancel the fireworks show, it's not for lack of trying. It's just for the fact that there's not enough time.
Yeah,
I mean,
you just can't do it.
we take out sometimes 20 people, and 20 people can't put that kind of a show together in 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
And rain isn't the biggest
And get a good
problem.
show.
Rain is not the biggest problem we have. Lightning is worse. All of our shows are electronically ignited. The electronic igniters, what are called electronic e-matches are all subject to static electricity. So if we're
That makes sense.
So if we're setting up a show and there's lightning around and it's close enough, we have to shut down because we don't need a shell going off when somebody's carrying it.
It's all about the safety.
While they're loading it up and
Right.
everything else.
All of that.
Yes, because that shell has a specific place, and it would screw up our choreography. No, it would really hurt
I
our
understand.
employees too.
So, in closure here, if somebody is interested and they want to get involved with you, whether it's an event or they want to be trained and be part of your team,
Exactly.
what is the best way to connect with you? On your webpage, your Facebook? I know your webpage is celestialdisplays.com, and it's on Facebook the same, Celestial Displays.
And if you go to our website, on the left-hand side, there's a navigation system, and at the very bottom it says "Contact Us." It should open a email, and it'll be sent to tech@celestialdisplays.com. That'll be me. I usually read email probably 18 hours a day, so.
For sure.
Okay. Okay.
But send me what you want, and we'll go from there.
And if you want to see some of our shows, look on the website.
Fabulous. You guys have been wonderful. I'm so excited to hear about you. And this podcast will be available by Wednesday. And we can share that on our irlonestar.com/EMCN. It will also be shared on East Montgomery County News on Facebook. So in closure, today's show is sponsored by Big Thicket Veterinary Clinic in New Caney. Visit them for all your pet needs, big or small, including livestock, because yes, they make house calls. And my guest next week will be Michelle Dykstra of the New Caney Education Foundation and Mayor Leah Tarrant of Patton Village. This is Margie Taylor, East Montgomery County News. See you next Monday.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schisler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schisler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.